All right. So, again, the bottom of the rankings, probably the most interesting part tonight. If we look at last week's, I think Illinois, Missouri, and Houston all should drop out. So that is opportunity for North Texas, for Navy, for James Madison, all of which would be very interesting.
Yep. And let's just hope that we go, we cut the grab ass and just go right to the ranking. Sometimes how they just put the teams on the screen and then we're off to the races. I hope that's what happens tonight.
I think that's probably what's going on. I don't think they're like Reese and Greg McElroy are probably not itching to talk too much right now.
Yeah.
They're just like, all right, let's go. Come on.
And they probably don't have a lot of analysis at this point. Like, hey, the rankings were the same as last week. Let's get through this.
Well, right. Again, there's not much supposed to change. Oh, sorry. No, Greg McElroy. It's Dusty Dvorak and our friend Boog and Joey Galloway.
Yeah, Boog was on the show last week. I do listen to these shows back sometimes, Andy, after we're done watching it, because we're not. And Joey Galloway says some wild stuff sometimes.
Yes, I don't know that he watches a lot of college football.
Yeah, it's like, how could you possibly? I know. I'm like the hot take king.
Yeah.
But sometimes he says something like, how could you possibly think that?
Yeah. Yes, this is true. So we shall see what this is, but I'm looking for, I bet at least one more American team gets ranked tonight. I don't know if James Madison does, but I think that adds spice to the mix.
If James Madison does get ranked, then that gets really, really entertaining in a 2-conference situation in the G5. And I don't know how
yes, especially if they're ahead of one of the American teams.
It's also not helping James Madison's cause that Louisville keeps losing.
It doesn't help. No, it doesn't help. Now, if they, I don't think they're going to be ahead of Tulane because Tulane's already been ranked ahead of them multiple weeks.
Mm-hmm. And nothing changed in the games or the results to change that. So
right. So, and in case you're wondering who plays who, Navy plays Memphis on Thanksgiving. Tulane plays Charlotte, which has been very bad this year. I think they're 1-10.
Mm-hmm.
And North Texas plays Temple, which is 5-6.
Yeah. So it seems pretty
25 Arizona, 24 Tulane, 23 Georgia Tech, 22 Pittsburgh, 21 SMU. So nobody else from the American and James Madison from the Sun Belt are not ranked. So that American tiebreaker we talked about is not a thing.
Wildcats represent.
Are you bearing down now?
Welcome to the show. That's a bear down. So does that mean that Arizona State's in the top 20? Did I just read that correctly?
That is what it means. It also means SMU's ranked.
Yeah, SMU is back in the rankings.
SMU, by the way, one of the teams with a better chance to make the conference title game. SMU and Virginia are in win-in situations, I believe.
Yeah.
Arizona State, number 20, Tennessee 19, only one spot jump for Tennessee. Virginia to 18, USC down 2 spots to 17, Texas up 1 spot to 16.
Okay, here's where the fun begins. This is the fun bunch. The next 5. I'm excited.
Do you think anything changes? I mean, we know USC dropped.
I think that Miami's going to jump over Utah.
Okay.
I think.
What if they don't?
Unless it's a conspiracy. I don't know. Unless this is, like you said, pro wrestling. Utah almost lost to Kansas State on Saturday and gave up like 50 points. They have no quality.
And Chris Kleiman cried after the game. Yes.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. All right, here we go. 15 Michigan. They're up 3 spots. They're in if they beat Ohio State. They're in.
Matchup. Cannot wait to get there.
They're in if they beat Ohio State, which is a huge if, of course.
I haven't said this on the show, but I think that Sharon Moore should get more credit for that like puffer vest he wears. It's badass. Michigan's color scheme and uniforms are so pretty.
Well, that game is just a beautiful game. Like from a uniform color standpoint, it's just glorious.
It's one of those games that should be home and home uniforms. Home uniforms versus home uniforms. I don't know why they don't do it. I think every rivalry should be home uniforms versus home uniforms.
Yeah, because there won't be any confusion among the players.
Right. I understand if there's confusion, but like USC, UCLA is the most beautiful thing to watch on TV.
No, there's not, but there's not. I mean, that was made for black when everybody had a black and white TV.
Oh, well.
Vanderbilt at 14.
Hasn't been a problem for a while, so I don't.
Exactly.
Okay. Who's going to be 13, Andy? You're ahead of me. I get excited. You're the one because I'm like learning it from you. I'm like the chat.
I don't have it yet. They're still talking about Vandy. They're talking about Clark Lee, who's out interviewing for jobs.
Yeah. I guess we do have to have a discussion about if Michigan is 10-2, who are they going to jump if chalk prevails? And I think that's an interesting conversation.
It is a very interesting. Utah at 13, down 1.
Told you, bud. Told
Their
you.
scare from Kansas State drops them down 1, which means at number 12, we're going to see a U. Well, there's 2 U's in Utah, but yes, Miami at number 12.
Yep.
Which means they will be 3 spots away from Notre Dame because we don't think Notre Dame's going to move.
Yeah. And the pods are in 3s. I'm not very good at math, but it's 3, 6, 9, and 12. I don't know how the pods work.
So 12 is the last team in the 4th pod.
Yeah.
And 9 is the last team in the 3rd pod.
3rd pod. So they're still pretty far from each other. But it's a pod advanced. That was the catch of the year too, the one they just showed. I almost threw the U up on the screen like I tend to do whenever we're talking about Miami and stuff, but then I just figured, don't do it today.
Not a great idea right now.
Yeah.
Taz asked, they actually defined, but they didn't actually define pods. They just tend to go in groups of 3. BYU is number 11 at 10-1. They're where they were last week. I think everybody else is going to be where they were last week unless they move to
Oregon will jump Ole Miss this week because they have 1 fewer loss and they got a quality win they didn't have. But that's my prediction. I want to see if I can go 2 for 2.
No, Oregon doesn't have 1 fewer loss than Ole Miss.
Oh, that's right. I'm an idiot. They got their first quality win.
Yes, exactly. So we think this will be Alabama next. If it's not, they're just moving stuff around for pro wrestling purposes.
Yeah, which would be great, by the way.
Alabama is 10. So no pro wrestling here.
Yeah. And if it was always the same, then why do we have got to go one by one? Just show us.
Notre Dame at 9. Yeah, the person doing the graphics didn't even have to put any arrows in this thing.
Yeah. That would have been a good gig, huh, River? No graphic up there.
River's just typing furiously as they're trying to get the graphic ready. Yeah, because unlike the people at ESPN, we don't get this beforehand. So
yeah, it would be great if we did, but it'd be easy to prepare for this. But it's actually fun watching it with the people.
All right, give me number 8. Nothing you're saying could be interesting because nobody's moved. So give me number 8.
I should have just replayed last week's commentary.
Exactly. What did Joey Galloway say about this last week?
He said Bowling Green should have been number 7.
I was just doing Eddie Georgia solid. Come on.
Yeah. I mean, Buckeye. I don't know.
Oklahoma is number 8, same as last week.
Okay.
Which means
if this is Oregon,
the next one will be Oregon or Ole Miss. Oregon or Ole Miss. Oregon or Ole Miss.
You think I'm onto something with Oregon prediction, or do you think I'm going to be wrong?
I don't know. I think it could go either way. And the answer is nope. They're still not showing it.
This is unbelievable.
Basketball. You know how much bad basketball. Ole Miss is number 7. They got jumped.
I'm 2-0 in predictions today.
There you go.
I'll take my bow.
So Ole Miss, nothing else happening at Ole Miss interesting this week. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
You think Lane's going to tweet about this? Lane's been a little light on the tweets.
Yeah. He's got stuff going on. He's got stuff going on.
Oregon is number 6. I doubt we see any changes in the top 5, but man, I don't know. You got any predictions on that, Ari?
I don't think there should be any changes in the top 5. It would be cool if they dropped, put Indiana number 1 just to do it this week. Ohio State struggled without their 2 best receivers a little bit before winning by 50, so you can neg them for that. I mean, they should do a why your team sucks routine right now and see if that changes anything up. But I think that we're pretty solid on what the top 5 is going to be here.
Yeah, 5 Texas Tech, which means 4 is going to be Georgia. So Georgia hurtling toward a bye because I just don't see who jumps them. Because if somebody jumps them, it also means somebody else is falling out of the top 5.
Right. Although a home game in Lubbock would be just so sick.
Texas A&M at 3. Indiana at 2. Ohio State at 1. So there you have your ranking. So the burning question at the bottom, would 2 American teams get ranked? They did not. Tulane is the only American team ranked. So we'll see who winds up in the championship game there after this weekend. James Madison was not ranked. So I think we still probably go with the assumption that the American champ is going to get that spot.
Yep. And here they're playing the messed up graphic that has Miami in the field right now because it's too complicated to actually do the real one.
Correct. But what you would actually have, you would have Tulane at Texas Tech, assuming Tulane won the American. Notre Dame at Oklahoma. That'd be fun. The ACC champ, whoever that is, whether that's Virginia, SMU, Duke, Miami, Pittsburgh, at Oregon, Alabama at Ole Miss. That'd be a fun game.
Yeah.
Would Lane Kiffin be there for it?
We had a pretty long conversation about it on today's show. Go check it out. The thing, they have this must-win conference tile next to Miami and Tulane. I guess that's signifying that for them to be in the bracket, they have to, but that might not ultimately be the case at the end of the year for Miami.
Right. Because Miami's path to the conference championship game is actually pretty narrow. A lot has to happen.
Yeah.
Oh, we haven't checked the weather in Pittsburgh in a while. Hold on. Let me check the Saturday weather in Pittsburgh.
Can I get a prediction? It's going to be really cold. Still.
It's warming up a little bit.
Oh, it is?
Now the high predicted high is 35. It was 31. Although at noon they're predicting that it'll be 33.
Okay. Yeah, I'm having a hard time with this like puffer packing situation. It's making me anxious.
Okay, don't pack it.
I know, but I'm like, I'm going to wear it in 80-degree
your bag. Put it in the overhead with your bag.
It's just a nightmare.
It's a puffer. It'll squish.
Yeah, it's a nightmare.
Hold on. Wrong kind of snow for the U. Wrong decade for that joke, but we'll take it.
I actually don't think that it is the wrong decade.
Probably not. It's everything that's old is new.
Yeah. I don't know that that's completely phased out yet, Andy. They are, yeah. I had to push down a joke, and I'll tell it to you when we're done.
Ole Miss could be out with a loss if Michigan wins. That is true.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think Alabama, in comparison with Ole Miss, would be pretty interesting. And I think they'd say Alabama had better wins. Ole Miss beat Oklahoma, which beat Alabama. But Alabama also has wins against Georgia, which beat Ole Miss. Which beat Ole Miss. So,
but if Michigan wins and beats Ohio State,
mm-hmm.
Alabama, Ole Miss, Oklahoma, and Georgia, and Oregon all win, then who's out?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Because we've been just blanketly saying if Michigan wins, they're in.
It might be Alabama.
And I wonder if beating Ohio State.
Yeah, that might be Alabama out at 10-2, which, oh my God, the SEC brass would go insane if that happened.
What is more valuable in your mind, of beating Ohio State at home at the end of the year, or the 4 consecutive ranked wins that Alabama put together?
See, that's the thing. They both have the best win. I would put them both in over Notre Dame.
Don't say that. They're going to come after you.
I would.
Don't say that.
I would. But for whatever reason, they think Alabama's worse than Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Possibly because Alabama has the worst loss of all these.
Mm-hmm. And maybe that would put them back on the chopping block too.
And Michigan's losses are not bad.
Mm-mm.
Michigan's losses are at Oklahoma and at USC, and USC is going to probably wind up being a 9-3 team.
Yep. That's going to be something to track, like for chaos lovers, if you're rooting for Michigan this week.
Yeah, I don't think Michigan's getting left out if they beat Ohio State.
I don't either.
Now, here's the other thing, Ari, and this is where Notre Dame would have to worry. An Alabama win gives them another game.
Yeah. Yeah, this Notre Dame controlling your own destiny thing has not been true as much as, it just hasn't been
Yeah,
true.
because if Alabama wins, they're going to the SEC championship game. If they win the SEC championship game, they're obviously in as one of the 5 highest ranked conference champs. But I also think playing a close SEC championship game and losing and being 10-3, they're not getting penalized for.
Yeah, I think the losers of the Big Ten and the SEC championship games will both be in.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of Ohio State will not lose in the chat, guys.
We said the same thing last year.
There are a lot of games you can say that about. I don't know about that one. It's a 10-point spread, and they've lost 4 in a row, and their 2 best offensive players are injured. So, you never know.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, guys, we love you for sticking with us through this thing. I crack many Modelo's tonight to celebrate yourself. You guys are full-time fans. You are the definition of full-time fans for being here through the basketball game, listening to us talk about a bad basketball game that you can't actually see, and then going through the rankings with us. So all the Modelo's to all of you tonight.